Hello, this is Jim Sutton of Stone Tablet Innovations. Welcome to video blog number 3, setup of Windows 10 for ESP32 programming. The goal of this blog is the setup of Windows for ESP32 programming, and we're going to use a Windows computer. This could be done from an Apple computer or a Unix computer. They all can be done pretty easily, but the Windows computer works fine, and it has a USB port on it without the need to use a converter. So since I have both the Windows and an Apple, I'm going to use the Windows for this. So to do this, we're going to start off by making sure we have a good clean install of Windows 10 ready to add the software. Then we're going to plan a little bit where to put the files so it's easy to navigate from the command window. And in the next video, we'll actually install the Espressif IDE software via the automated tool. So what do we mean by a good clean installation? Well, we'll be using the Espressif automated installation tool, and this is going to make several changes to the system and to the path variables, both the local user and the system. If you have what I call a dirty old installation Windows, the paths there may be a lot of stuff in there that's all out of date and kind of a mess, and why not have it clean? And there's another important point that we're going to be using the Espressif installer, and it doesn't necessarily work with all versions of GIT or Python, and I found it best to remove these programs, and if you're using the automated software installation tool, and let Espressif add the software versions that work best with the installer. So we'll show you how to do that. And just as a final thought, you can ignore this advice about cleaning up Windows, paths, and Git. But if there's a difficulty, you're going to be spending a lot of unnecessary time figuring out what subtle things are broken. When you see the list of software that's actually loaded, when you're getting ready to build an application for the ESP32, it's obvious that you need to be a little bit careful here. And I think there's also one other piece that's important to point out, is what I'm going to call software bravery. You're not going to get anywhere with this kind of stuff if you can't learn to be a little bit brave. And so I'm going to encourage you a little bit, if there's anything in any way deficient about your Windows 10, well, why don't you just blow it away and install a new one? And we'll go into that a little bit. And if you do that, I think you'll be less worried about making later big changes down, because you know it's not really that bad to go backwards and just start over. So a lot of people are running upgrade installs on their Windows computers, and I guess there's nothing absolutely wrong with it. However, I think a clean install is much, much better. And basically, an upgrade install is like you went from Windows 7 to Windows 10 instead of just doing a straight Windows install. And it ends up being set up a little bit differently. And to determine if it was an upgrade install versus a clean install, you can use the Windows registry. And I'm going to basically use the run command, type regedit, and open the registry. You browse this following path, which I've shown on the right. If there's a folder name update, and you can see there's not a folder name update in this setup thing, it's a clean installation. Again, why not get in the habit of best practice? If If you have any trouble following these instructions, you can see I've attached a link from Windows Central, and that's in the text that you can do this. So go ahead, take a look and see if you're an upgrade install. If you are, why don't you go ahead and make it a clean install. Step 2, to go ahead and do the clean install, back up your files, check whether your version of Windows is activated by opening Settings, Update, Security, Activation. If you're activated, you're good to go with a clean install. I've showed over here on the right panel where it shows the activation details. So if you're activated, then you want to build a bootable USB or DVD. So download a fresh copy of Windows 10 from Microsoft. I give it an address. Boot from the new software. On my computer, you press F10 while the boot message is coming up, but you can take a look and see how your computer goes itself. There's a number of questions, and when it asks for a software key, press I don't have a software key. This is the most convenient thing about this new method of Windows Update, because it will automatically look into the registry and use the existing license key. During the installation, you'll have a chance to delete the partition that the Windows is installed on and turn it into free space. I'd go ahead and do that because that means for sure everything will get rewritten, and Windows will recreate a main partition for you. I don't think the entire process of doing this doesn't take an hour, and you'll have a beautiful clean desk. There are a lot of descriptions on how to do this. That's how to geek. One worked fine. Seems like the best one to me, so you could follow that if you need more than these simple steps. But yes, start with clean. If you don't start with a clean installation and you do have GIT or Python already installed, again, it's my suggestion that you remove them. And that's because the Espressif installer will automatically install the correct version. And again, spoiler, it won't put the latest one on of either GIT or Python, but it'll put the one that all the scripts work with. So if you need to remove GIT or Python, it's pretty simple. You go to Windows Settings, Apps, and do the uninstalls here. Then the final thing I want to talk about is the location of files. When we're all done here, we want we're going to end up with a tools file under C:\username, and we're going to want a username ESP. These are the place we're going to put files in. This one will be the .expressive file will be created. You have to make a blank ESP file under users, and we'll get into that a little bit more in the next video. But again, thank you, and please subscribe to the channel, and please leave any questions or comments. Thank you.